I'm in bed. If you don't like it, don't watch. I don't care. Uh, all right. The reason why I'm doing this in bed is because it's a sleep apnea test. So for those of you, once again, having the issue, then this video is not for you. You know, tired of apologizing for people who are just ridiculous. Anyway, so this is a sleep apnea test. This is what they give you, and basically, it's does its thing on its own. There's a monitor there. I think you're supposed to push something. Just kind of push something and goes on about its business. And they give you put this thing on your finger. And of course, they tell you to do this yourself. So, put this thing on your finger. Slip your finger all the way in here, and it guess it's testing your heartbeat. What up, though? What up? Am I good? I'm, I'm going through some stuff, but this has been a long time coming for this. So basically, you stick your finger in there. The monitor is going to read information that you may or may not know, and you have a thing on your chest. So it's gonna have your heartbeat from here. It's gonna have your heartbeat from here, and I don't know. It might even do some oxygen stuff or whatever. I'm not sure, but yeah. But thanks for asking. I'm okay, man. How's the family and the dogs doing, bro? But anyway, so this is on there pretty snug, so it doesn't fall off. And what the doc told me was she was like, we're just gonna see if you snore. And I was like, absolutely, I snore. I've been snoring since I was a kid. Like, oh yeah, I snore. Yeah, I snore loud enough to, my last girlfriend used to give me the old elbow and wake me up, and or she would rock me or something like that, and I'd wake up and pretty much get to, have to reposition, or I would come out of REM sleep or one of those sleeps, whatever. And you snore when you go into deep sleep. Now, I've always been an athlete, or I've always done some type of strenuous something all the time. I used to be a runner, so I would run all the time. So whenever, go to my girlfriend's house or, be around them, and it's time to go to sleep, I would go into these deep sleeps because I expended so much energy. Now, every now and then I gotta move something heavy and things along that line. I can't run anymore. I'm 70 pounds overweight. Got arthritis in my knees. I ain't going nowhere anytime fast. But nonetheless, being that I've gained that weight, my snoring is even more atrocious. I ain't got no woman, so nobody can tell me. Nobody's telling me that. But I wake my own self up snoring. So they wanted to know, do I have sleep apnea? Now I've been falling asleep during the day. Nothing wrong with that. But when I've been falling asleep, it's the type of falling asleep that is so mandatory, like right now, that you would think I was up for 3 weeks straight. And it just hits me all at once, all the time, like boom. And I am just done. I'm sitting in my chair, gone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like trying to fight it. Only way I can fight it is if I get up and I start walking around. Then I might be able to fight it a little bit. I go outside, sit in the sun. But usually, if I sit down, I'm going to sleep. So I think I have a real problem, and my energy level has been low. So the VA hospital, that's why I went and got this. Now, the VA hospital, when you walk up to the VA hospital, for one, you just can't go in there anymore. You can't go in there unless there's an appointment. So when you walk up, they do the whole, corona test, the heat test on you. They stick the heat gun to your head, the temperature gun, just to see, what your temperature is. And they won't let you walk in there unless you have an appointment. So they ask you, do you have an appointment? And, you say yes. Then they look up your on an iPad and, tell you, what you're there for and share the information with you that you already know. And then ask you all of these questions. Have you been tired, nose running, nauseous? They're asking questions of corona. They're trying to see if you got it or not. Even asking you, have you been around anyone who's had corona? Have you been in contact? Now, when you ask that question, I'm just like, well, I've been to the grocery store. I don't know if anybody's had corona in the store. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you answer that question? But I just say no, because I don't know anybody who actually has the coronavirus. I know of people whose family member has, had the coronavirus. Uh, and a guy I knew a while ago, he has it, but I don't know like anybody within this vicinity. I haven't seen anybody walking around in close proximity here or just anywhere in this hood and them saying, yeah, I caught the coronavirus. But here's the thing: if you go to the hospital and you get tested, I guarantee you it's gonna say you got it. But anyways, so the hospitals aren't as packed anymore. So I just wanted to talk about like the procedures they go through and now how Corona has changed things. The nurses actually meet you at the door of the hospital. They're standing outside and they actually have places where you can sit while you wait in line while they ask you all these questions before you go in the hospital. It's just like, oh, Corona did a thing. Anyway, so that's where I got this from, the sleep apnea test. Now I take this and turn it in tomorrow. I think she said tomorrow. Tomorrow, and I don't even have to go into the hospital. So I don't have to do the whole rigmarole. I just walk up to them and hand them this right here, which easily comes off. It's worn like a wristwatch. Now, some of you probably know somebody who snores heavily. You know, I'm talking about, an adult, and they're overweight. Well, if they're falling asleep, uncontrollably falling asleep, just suddenly falling asleep, just if they sit still longer than 5 minutes, they're going to sleep. If this happens a lot, you might want to look into them doing this, getting a sleep study. Because what you don't want to happen is they're in the car, they're driving, and their sleep apnea is getting worse. And next thing they, just on your way to the grocery store, they fall asleep right there at the wheel. It can happen. It has happened. So don't take it, lightly. Now, I have this thing is stuck on my chest. It's also connected to this. So I had an uncle, and my uncle was with his brothers, three of them, two of them, and they all died in the same car crash. Well, the one died like a couple days later. It's because my uncle had a diabetic or some type of whatever while he was driving and fell asleep at the wheel. He went into some type of diabetic shock and it hit him and he just boom, he was out. Car was still moving. Bam! They hit something, bring him to a complete stop and killed all three of them. Uh, so falling asleep at the wheel is a very, very, very dangerous thing, and it's obvious that it can take out. I mean, anybody in its way, that car is not going to stop unless an object, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going to stop unless it hits something that just, it's not going to move. And the end results is people going through windshields and, the whole deal. So take it from somebody who has lost family members from it. This right here, just this little test, can help you or your loved ones or whoever it is in your life that you think might have a sleeping disorder. Also, when they do find out you got sleep apnea, I don't know how they treat it. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. So I went to the hospital to get my hernia done, right? So when I went to the hospital to get my hernia done, the doctor looked at me, or the specialist looked at me, and the doctor called in the anesthesiologist. The anesthesiologist came in. Then they said, okay, let's call another doctor. I didn't know what they were doing, but I knew there was something going on. They called in another doctor and they said, the VA is not going to perform your surgery. And I said, why? They said, because your airway is not as wide as it should be. And because of this, we need to send you to another hospital who has better equipment for people with your, condition. That's exactly what they did. They sent me to Grant Hospital. Grant Hospital took care of me because they had things there that the VA just doesn't have. The VA is not fully equipped, but it is a fully functioning hospital. But it's not fully equipped to do everything, hold people overnight, for, what I'm saying, 10, 20 beds. It's not made like that. Even though it's a brand new hospital. Who's this? So, anyways, so that also tells me that uh, my airway, it also tells me that my airway is causing some of my problems. So I'm telling you guys this so you can start looking at your family members and or yourself and going, that sounds familiar. Now, when they examined my airways, my noses, when they examined my airways, they had a chart, and the chart had four different sizes of airways. And they were like, this is your airway. We can't operate on you here. We have to send you out to another facility. I didn't, what I'm saying is, I didn't self diagnose myself. All right. So that issue and this is has a direct correlation. What? Snoring. So being that I'm overweight and I'm not as active because I have arthritis, so moving just hurts. It's a buildup of issues that start to happen to you. It's not just, oh, he snores, you know. There are these effects that are starting to compound your health issues. That's what's happening to me as I get older. Problems are being compounded simply because I can't move the way I used to. I can't go out and go running. Like I tried the other day and it just hurts so bad. My knees just hurt so bad. So I can't go running for long distances. I just can't do it. I look like a long distance runner. No, but I used to run a mile in under 5 minutes. I used to fly all the way up into my 30s. But after that, it just got bad. My knees got worse. That was it. So I'm telling you guys, if you know if anybody is in that situation that has those symptoms, don't be thinking you're saving them by not saying anything. Because once again, falling asleep at the wheel is deadly. And my uncles, they're all gone in one car crash. Three, I went to a double funeral. The other one was in the hospital and died like 2 days after the funeral was over. Three uncles gone, wiped out. It's your boy Toto, God loves you, and so do I.